and welcome to another yet interesting lesson about the world of big block Chevrolets. And I know that all of you are familiar with the big blocks. They The first one was a 348, which is called a W motor, and then the larger size was a 409. Great motors. They had the combustion chamber that was inside, along with the with the cylinder bore. The motor was at like a 90 degree. It was a weird it was a weird deal the way they were, but the combustion chamber was part of the cylinder bore. But today we are talking about the Mark IV, which is known by the 390, the 366, the 396, the 402, which is a overboard, the 396 low compression, and the 427, which is a tall deck motor, and the 454, which is a low deck motor. So all of these motors came in 2 bolt and 4 bolt main configurations. All of them did. The majority of them, the 396, most of them came with, you can get it at 325 horsepower, and the motor was like 9.75 to 10.25, depending on what type of cylinder head it had, and if then a compression or the type of piston that it had. Now, back in the day, nobody was putting flat top pistons in motors from the factory, or except for Chrysler. You could get a Chrysler product, and it would have a flat top piston in it. It wouldn't be dish. And let me show you. Now, this is not a Chrysler. This is a GM. This is a GM. This is a big block Chevrolet Mark IV, 1978, but it's a 2 bolt main. So back in the day, these pistons here, they're flat. They're just flat top pistons, but they got the recess for the intake and exhaust. Okay, so this motor here is a 454 that came out of my dually. And when I used to race, I had a dually, and this is the motor that was in the dually. And it's just a regular run-of-the-mill 4 bolt main motor. It's got oval port heads. You can see by the intake manifold the way it's made. These are oval port heads. Now, this motor ran well, but it was just for my dually. When I got rid of the dually, I pulled the motor out of the truck, and it had been in my the motor had been in my C10 for a little while. It's been in my Monte Carlo for a little while I was building the other engines for both of them. So let's get to it about the heads. The heads that used to be sought after back in the day and still are now, there were two types of heads. The GM factory aluminum heads were from a place, Winners Foundry, and they actually made aluminum heads for the big block Chevrolet. They were for the 427s. I think some people even got them. I never did, but some people even got them and put them on the 454s. Now, they were known as snowflake heads because, hello, Solomon. They were known as snowflake heads because they had that emblem cast into their heads. So they were known as snowflake heads. Now, here's a set of factory rectangle port heads that are 1970. So here we go. Now these heads right here are factory rectangle port heads. And you know they're rectangle port by this here. See how much larger that intake area is? So these are rectangle port heads. That's what they are, both of them. And they're 19. You see what it says, the high performers on it. You don't get those on a lot of heads. The 396s had it. The 427s had it. And I don't remember any 454s. But I know the 427 and 396. And these are 1970 model heads here. And they are also close. They're also closed chambered head, which means they were effectively used on to bring the compression ratio up. So what I'm going to do is rebuild these heads here, and more than likely I'm going to put them on this already 30 over flat top short block. And that should give me somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 9.5 to 1, something like that. Just enough to be able to run, non-ethanol, because we have non-ethanol fuel here, which is like 90 octane. Or you could even run E85 if you wanted to, or you could run super unleaded. Now, the engine that's in this Monte Carlo here is this is a 70 model 454. It's a 2-bolt main. I put a steel crank in it. It's got the pink rods in it, and it has 481 heads on it, and they are oval port and they're open chamber. So when I built the motor, I built it for a static compression ratio of 9.5 to 1. And that's what I got. It has a Comp Cams super mother thump in it. And it's a high-rise intake, dual plane with a 750 double pumper. Car runs good, no complaints, great build. It's the build that it's the way I've been building big blocks for the last 30 years. The same thing. And even when I raced, the only thing I would do different is I had dome pistons in there to bring it to like 10.5 to 1. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. But that's kind of gone away now, because a lot of people don't really. Everybody's going LS. Everybody's went LS or LS and Coyote and stuff like that. And so these engines like this, you just have to be a person like myself that really like them and have them available and want to put them in something. As you see, last week I went and looked at a 69 Chevelle that I'll be purchasing and bringing to the channel. It needs quite a bit of panel repair on it, but hey, you got Auto Metal Direct, you got the different OPG and all those, and I mean it's something I could, that I'll dive into. Whatever it needs, I'll put it on it. But the car has a unique story. It's a ex-racer that's gotten sick, and so he's no longer going to be doing anything with the car. The car's been sitting for probably 10 years plus. So I found out about it from a good friend of mine and went and looked at it, and the condition of it is it's in rough condition, but I have the ability to put the panels on it, do everything to it, and I want to make it a driver as quick as I can. As quick as I can, I want to make it out of a driver. I don't want to let it sit here in my garage or in my driveway no longer at the time. I want to get it up and going. So the decision is, am I going to make it a standard shift or automatic? Well, I have, if I use everything at my disposal, including the engines, that's no problem. The only other problem is that if I go automatic, well, I have a 700 R4, which is an 87 to a 91 that I've been having for a few years now, but it needs a full rebuild. It needs a full rebuild, and so I'm I've rebuilt them before. I've rebuilt the one in my C10 and upgraded it with the 4L60 components and all that. And I'll do the same thing with that one there. If I decide to go that way, I would. I've been kind of looking around to see if I could find a 4-speed to put in it, because I would like to put the car to 4-speed. I would like to be 4-speed, so it would be, kind of period correct and all that. So that's just what it is. It maybe when the weather turns around, I'll bring the car home. Got to put tires on it like that, because to make it out of a roller, load it on the trailer, and bring it home. But you ought to be seeing all that. But as far as what I got going on now, the Monte Carlo, it's just waiting on paint. The C10 is just waiting on paint. I want to get them out the way, get them out of the garage so that I can bring the Chevelle in here, let the Monte Carlo sit where my family car is sitting at, and put a cover on it, bring the Chevelle in to get it running, do the suspension on it and stuff like that. I didn't look at it to see if it had disc brakes on the front. If it doesn't, you got a place called Lead Brakes. They sell kits to convert just about any type of car. If you know your body of your car, A, G, C, F, D. If you know the body of the car, they sell kits for anywhere from $400 to $600. It'll come with looks like GM parts. It'll come with the spindle, the caliper, the rotor, the brake lines, and all that. And if you need to, most of them use the Corvette master cylinder and a small booster if you want to go that far. So that's something I know I'll be doing with the cars. I'm not going to put any wheel woods on it or Hotchkins or nothing like that, because I'm not going to be driving the car aggressive like that where I would need 4 or 6 piston calipers or nothing like that. I'm not going to drive the car like that. It's just going to be it's not going to even be a resto mod. I'm just going to restore the car to what my idea of what a Malibu or Chevelle is, and that's probably going to be in the theme of a super sport with the bucket seats, the console, with all the gauges in there, stuff like that. Don't know if I'm gonna go Dakota Digital with the dash. I don't know anything of that, but I do know it's gonna have a console and it's gonna have the gauges in it, whether it be a manual or automatic. Thought about putting a 4L80 in it, but I don't have a core, and I'll see about finding a core. Then I would need a computer to control it. So that means that I would have to probably look at the Holley system, or maybe even the Aces, Firetech. You got so many people that make them that I could actually find a standalone computer system that would be a 4-pot throttle body. Now, I'm not going to do no frill injectors like that in the intake. I'm going to use a traditional intake manifold, and I'll get the Holley or the Aces or whatever that comes with the 4-barrel that looks like a Holley carburetor. I'll put that on there because I can be able to adjust the fuel and all that and get my AFR at optimum thing. And I also can be able to control a 4L80 or a 700 without any problem. So with that being said, that's just what's going on, and hope this information was good for you all about the difference between oval port and rectangular port cylinder heads, because Chevrolet was the only manufacturer that did it. Everybody else had traditional style head, and they either did aluminum or they did steel, but Chevrolet actually did rectangle port and oval port. And the oval port was always the lower performance rating, but I mean, you can still make good power with them. But in my quest to build this LS7, which is a rectangle port motor with 11-to-1 compression, which is kind of high for today's gas, and it was a solid lift cam, so you don't really have to do that no more these days. It had an 850 carburetor on it. Some of them had dual point distributors in them, and they were real quick. The ones that were 400 transmissions had 410 rear ends, and the standards had some of them had 373s, some of them had 411, just depending on the way the car was ordered and set up. But I've been wanting to get one of these cars for a while. My mom actually had a 71 Chevelle, and it had the 350 engine in it with a 400 transmission, and it had the bucket seats and the console. Very nice car, very, very nice car. And I always liked those cars. And so now I got the ability to get one that is a complete. You just need to be disassembled and fixed. As always, get out there and do something. As you can see, I'm out here now. It's about 3 o'clock. And so I'm needing to get started on what I'm doing today. Continue to watch. If you haven't done so, subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends, and I'll get back to you on the next one. Thanks again.